just like the name goes, is checking somebody's background, checking somebody's past, checking history. And so when you talk about checking history, checking past, you're actually really trying to confirm or corroborate somebody's claim. So background check is, in a nutshell, trying to really find out the true identity or the true personality of an individual. Background check is actually not a new thing. In those days, if you're going to marry anybody, our parents will always send someone, help me find out who are the parents. What's the father into? What's the mother into? What type of family are they from? Is it good for our daughter to marry them or our son? So background check is part of us as human beings. So when we bring it to corporate setting, background check is very legal. Considering the prices you have to pay for engaging someone you don't know so much about, engaging someone that you took at face value, engaging someone that the only thing you know are the things he or she told you. So background check is very, very legal. Background check is not like running an investigation, so to say, an intelligence investigation on an individual without his knowledge. Most times, if you're going to do background check, the best practice of doing it is to let the person know. Insecurity is on the increase now. And so in our society, in corporate setting, background check is very important now. And of course, when you talk about the corporate setting, companies are even downsizing now, adding to the fact that the jobs were not really there before. So it's a matter of survival of the fittest. When advertisements come out now, maybe a place where they need just like 2 people, you see almost like 200,000 resumes. If I want to do anything to make sure I get the job, you see people cooking up information, fictitious data on their resume. And when they ask for 5 years work experience, if I had 2, I just need to mark it up to 5. Just bring 1 or 2 fictitious names. And you see people do that with the mindset that nobody's going to find out, nobody's going to know, nobody's going to try and actually corroborate what I've said. And many are falling for those tricks. Of course, the downside of it is that if you want 5 years work experience and I have 2, if eventually you engage me because I claimed in my CV that I have 6, I won't be able to deliver. It's going to affect my competence, it's going to affect my efficiency, it's going to affect my effectiveness. I'm not going to be able to deliver. And at the end of the day, that company needs to do that recruitment all over again. So the turnover is going to happen. So it's very essential. And of course, when you talk about the society now, with all the things happening now, the kidnappings and everything, like we always tell parents, be careful who you open your homes to. The story abounds on daily basis. Depending on the industry, it spells out what you should look out for. But no matter the industry, one of the key things you should do is that you need to call for references. And when we say calling for references, you need to find out from people, if it's for employment reasons, the likelihood is that maybe it's coming from somewhere. You need to find out from the last place where he has worked. Call for references, ask them the type of person he was, what was his character, what was his attitude, how professional he is. And like we always hear at times, when some people leave some places, they don't leave empty-handed. They make sure they leave with something, maybe the font of their boss, former boss. So you need to find out what did they live with. You understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And then, of course, apart from references, you may want to run maybe like criminal record check on such person. Has he had issues with the police in the past? Has he been arrested? Has he been convicted? You know, and then of course, also very key, depending on the position you want to get the person for, you need to verify the educational claims. So if I claimed that I went to Obafemi Awolowo University, graduated 1988, and finished with, got a BSc in demography and social statistics, whether first class or 421 or 22, you need to find out, number one, if actually attended the school. Like we found out several times now that many of such claims don't happen. We've had people that come with certificates of schools they never attended. If has instances of people who work for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years and above using fake certificates. You know, like we always tell people that it's not about trying to see, like at times when someone has maybe third class or 2-2 or whatever, we always advocate that people should leave it the way it is. Just keep it real. Keep it real. It's because I want to actually enhance my my potentials or the possibility of getting job. That's why I'm going to change it from third class to 2-1 or whatever. I've seen places where even a third class was actually employed as against maybe a first class or somebody with 2-1. Just keep it real. So you need to check certificates. You need to, you may want to check the addresses out. Somebody handles your funds and you don't even know anything about his family. You don't know even where he stays. There is an instance of an organization that the guy that handles their sales was handling, I mean, lot of funds every day, and the organization don't even know where he stays. And before they knew it, like 40 million was gone. And somebody, the next thing was that, so who knows where he stays? Then it became a matter of, well, who knows where he stays? It's an indictment on that organization for you to even say who knows where he stays. It's your right to know where your staff stays in case of any eventuality. It's your right to know some family members, apart from asking for referees or guarantors. If you want to start investigations, who do you run to? Unfortunately, there was nobody to contact in the case of this guy. And the next time they were going to actually hear from him, he was sounding from somewhere in Europe. So you need to just know for whatever it takes. So those are some of the checks you need to do. And of course, you may want to also be sure that so your staff are not living above their income. So you may want to run some credit checks on them. So it really can be very diverse. And if it's on organizational level, you may want to know more about the directors of the other company you want to go into partnership with. You may want to know what has happened to some of the joint ventures they have been to in the past. What has always been what has been their track record.